Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the late breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. I've just come into some information earlier today that there has been a mayoral candidate by the name of James Crabb Watson. He was a candidate for mayor in the Osceola election a few weeks ago, and he filed a litigation, uh, injunction that is, in the Osceola Circuit Court. Okay, and I'm going to show you exactly what he filed. Let me go up here and find it. Show you exactly what he filed. But before I get into the show in regards to the injunction filed by James Crabb Watson, I want to say that early voting, I don't know exactly when it started. It might have started Monday, but I'm told early voting is in progress. I don't have the dates. And so those of you who may have a candidate who's in a runoff, that it be city council or some other office, but I'm thinking most of them are city council. I think Osceola got like two. I think Blytheville have one here in my city. And so please check. You may have to go back to the polls to cast your vote for your preferred candidate. Okay? So please do that. All right? Now, I want to get into the show. What we're talking about when we're talking about an injunction. An injunction is just in layman terms, an injunction is a person who files a legal action asking a court or judge to prevent another from doing something. In some cases, to compel them to do. It's either compel them to do or not to do. Okay. In many cases, when you hear about an injunction file, most of them call them a preliminary injunction or emergency injunction, where they asking the court or the judge to do something that may cause them harm. In some cases, that harm may be considered irreparable harm. In other words, once it's done, it's done. You can't undo it. All right. And this injunction is filed upon the Arkansas Rules of Civil Procedure. It's called Rule 65, as you see there. So that was filed by James Crabb Watson. Now, just like Mr. Mayberry, I don't know if Mr. Watson have an attorney. I did read. I did print off the. I did print off the filing that he did in Osceola, Arkansas. I did print that off. I have it here. I'm not. It's 11-page document. I'm not going to read all 11 pages. You can easily go to the Osceola Circuit Court Clerk. I think it's. I don't know if it's upstairs, downstairs, but you can walk in and you can ask for that particular filing up under the FOI. That's Freedom of Information request. Okay, so they will give you that. They may charge you for it, but the information is available to you if you desire to have a copy. All right, and so, but he did bring this case by himself. I don't know if he is working upon it. Sometime when you're filing a litigation, sometime the legal aid or whatever, they will sometime help a particular litigant, um, um, draft his documents and file his case or what have you. In some cases, they'll do it on your behalf, but in something like this here, I don't think those services uh, are available for this type of case with legal aid. Uh, Now, I want to show you the. Let me go up here to my board. I'm hoping I have it up here. I want to show you the. Is there anything else I need to show you over here? But what he's talking about, as I say, he filed this case by himself, pro se, and and I hope I was rushing. So if I get any misspelling, excuse me. But pro se is where a person is appearing to represent himself or herself. In other words, you come in your own uh, uh, by your own means. You're bringing this case. You have no attorney. Pro se, that's simply what it means. You appearing all by yourself, to have an opportunity to explain to a judge, what is it that you're asking. Okay. And so that's what pro se mean. When you hear someone say they filed in pro se, that's what they mean. They filing the lawsuit in their own name. They don't have an attorney, in other words. Okay. Uh, but what is being talked about here is this election. Now, what they're talking about is that there was 370 votes. This is according to the filing in the lawsuit. That 370 votes or more, mail-in ballots, what we're talking about. How those mail-in ballots were invalidated, allegedly by the Mississippi County Clerk, Miss Janice Curry. That is the name that appears in the court filing. It has her name. It named a few other people, of course. The County Board of Election Commissioners named them as well. And so, but let me just give you the the all the people that are named in this suit. Okay. So let me go up here. This is the filing here. Like I said, it's 11 pages. I'm not gonna look at all 11 pages, of course. Show you all 11 pages, of course. But we're gonna just go through this right now. First, I want to take you up here to show you exactly that this lawsuit uh, is not filed was not filed by an attorney. This was in the Osceola Circuit Court. Okay, I'm gonna blow that up for you where you can see it just a little bit. Okay, but this was filed in the Osceola Circuit Court. All right, let me take that down once. That's too much. Okay, but this was filed in the Osceola, Mississippi County Civil Division. Okay, down on the south end of the county. Uh, as you can see right there, this case was filed at 2:15 p.m. on November the 18th. Excuse me, 18th, November the 28th, 2022. All right, that's when this case was filed. I want to make sure I'm looking at my monitor here. I want to make sure that I got this up on the screen. I do. But that's when this case was filed, November the 28th, 2022 at 2:15 p.m. in the Osceola Circuit Court. Okay. And the people that were named in this lawsuit, let me pull this over for you where you can see it. These are the people that was named in the lawsuit. I'm going to blow it up just a little bit where you can see it. I think you ought to be able to make out with that. As you see up there, the plaintiff is James Crabb Watson, political candidate for mayor of Osceola, and all candidates with similar interests in the Mississippi County election process. Now, I don't know exactly that filing, what they mean by all candidates. Uh, uh, I don't know what that means because when you file pro se, uh, meaning you're bringing this lawsuit in your own name, uh, which means you can only represent yourself uh, and not other individuals. So all other candidates, I'm not sure what that means. Okay, but these are the people that were named in the lawsuit. Okay, the Mississippi County Election Commission. Okay, I'm thinking they mean in the board. Uh, Thomas M. Wiltorick. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He's the chairman of the board of the county election commissioners. Okay. Candace Denning, she's a commissioner. Boyd Anthony Thomas, he's a commissioner. Uh, Joe Harris Jr., political candidate for mayor, elected for Osceola. Okay. Then now I don't know why Melissa Logan is named in this here, but Melissa Logan name also was named in this here, political candidate for mayor, elected from Blytheville. And of course, Janice Carey, the Mississippi County Clerk. Those are all the defendants that uh, Mr. Watson named in his filing, his legal action. Okay. Uh, and if you need the case number, I'm gonna go over a little bit. You can go to the Osceola courthouse. I don't know if you can go to Blythe and get it. You may can get it in Blythe, at Blythe as well. But let me blow this up where you can see that. You see where it says civil case? I'm gonna blow that up for you. That's the case number right there. Okay, you see where my little pink cursor kind of jiggling over here over the place right there. It's a civil case, not a criminal case, a civil case. And this is the case number 470CV. That stands for civil action. CV dash 22. That's the year. And dash, what's that? 121. I guess that's some type of filing. But TA, that's the judge who's going to hear the case. If I'm not mistaken, that TA stands for Tanya Alexander. That's who will be hearing this case. So that's the case number. I'll leave it there for a while if you want to write it down. You can go to the Osceola courthouse, give them that case number, and you can request upon the Freedom of Information Act to give you a copy of this case. Okay, but that is the case number. All right. Now, let me get out of this. Try to get it back down to where we want it now and trying to center it back up. Okay. But those are the individuals that was named in the lawsuit. Okay. Now, let's go and I don't know why I keep clicking on that. Let's go and read a little bit of this here. I'm not going to read all those 11 pages. I'm just going to show you exactly what was go to the statement. Like I say, this is a preliminary injunction, to try to stop a particular person from doing something that will cause them harm or irreparable harm. Okay, but let's go down here to where it say statement of the case. Okay, a statement of the case coming up right now. Statement of the case. Now this is where we get an understanding of why he's appealing to the circuit court, asking them to either do something or to prevent another from not doing something. Okay, if you start there at the first paragraph, there it say the petitioner James Crabb Watson ran in the local election as a mayoral candidate for the city of Osceola during the citywide 2022 election cycle. The petitioner and his campaign staff, along with civic organizers, conducted a countywide voter registration. And as a result, more than 300 new registered requested mail-in ballot. That's what we're talking about, mail-in ballots through the county circuit office. The aforesaid voters did, in fact, receive their mail-in ballots as requested. However, the county clerk, Janice Carey, declared the mail-in ballots invalid for not having a photo ID inside the return ballot envelope. So that's the case right there. To where, again, over 300 people he claimed that they registered through a voter registration drive, I imagine. And those 300 individuals mail-in ballots were not validated, or shall I say they were invalidated by the county clerk, Janice Carey, according to this court filing by petitioner James Crabb Watson. Okay, so that's basically his his claim that the mail-in ballots was invalid. And right down at the bottom, that word irreparable harm. Can you see that? Irreparable harm, to where he's saying that this very act somewhat has caused them psychological and psychological and social dysfunctional, whatever, uh, uh, whatever he mean by that. I don't know exactly what social dysfunction he's claiming. All right, but that is that, and if we'll turn over, it's not but about another page or two, and I want to show you right over here to where you can see to where these are the people that he claimed that were in the mayor's race. Joe Harris Jr., he received it 1,081 votes for mayor. Greg Baker received it 255 votes for mayor. And James Crabb Watson received it 165. And number 4, mail-in ballots discarded was 370 votes not counted. That's the claim, 370 votes not counted. And that's really what they're hoping to get to. They're hoping to have a runoff election. And I mentioned something about they naming Miss Melissa Logan in this case. Up here to where it reads, if you go to where my love, that third sentence there where it say Arkansas statute, if you see the name Melissa Logan, what they're saying about her is let me go up. It say the Melissa Logan certification as mayor of Blytheville with the assistance of 2 dirty votes is constitutional and gravely wrong. The candidate Mayberry alerted the commissioners of the fact that certain persons were allowed to vote at the polls without any form of identification, except a household utility bill. The votes cast made the difference between a runoff and a win. Okay? Now, let me see where we at. It said, I'm looking at my notes and looking up here too. The Mississippi County Clerk stated that the Secretary of State told her to remove the illegal ballots and therefore declaring, the Secretary of State told her to remove the illegal ballots and therefore declaring a mayoral runoff. Janice Carey come back to the candidates after publicly notifying the news agency and press of the runoff and stated that the Secretary of State told her to place the unconstitutional ballots back in the ballot. Okay? And tabulation, thus declaring Melissa Logan the winner. These actions by the county clerk and election commissioner denied candidate Mayberry due process under the law. And so they naming her in this this lawsuit. I don't know why Miss Melissa Logan name is named in the lawsuit, considering I don't think she had nothing to do with how Osceola conduct their elections as it relates to the mail-in ballots. I'm not sure where the connection is on that. Why she's named, and so of course the court will pretty much make a decision on all that. Sometime when a person is named in a lawsuit, and once it get before a judge, there have been instances where the judge will strike a particular name from the lawsuit, for whatever reason he or she choose to do so. And so if they can connect the dots as to how Mrs. Uh, Melissa Logan is tied to this confusion for the mayoral race in Osceola, then I'm pretty sure the court probably will strike her name as being a defendant. That's just me. I'm not an attorney, but I'm just using my wisdom in terms of uh, my education in regards to criminal justice and paralegal. Uh, I don't see the connection as to how Mrs. Melissa Logan uh, should be named as a defendant. Uh, but that is that. I don't know if there's anything else I have over here. As I said, uh, they claiming that the votes that was tallied, Joe Harris with 1082. This is according to the filing in the lawsuit. This is where I'm getting these numbers. Greg Baker 255, James Crabb Watson 165. Okay, and there was a total of 370 mail-in ballots is what is in question by the petitioner, plaintiff, or what have you. And so that is the claim by the petition, that this should go to a runoff, because what he's stating is that if you add the 370 ballots, uh, they're claiming that that can make all the difference in Mr. Harris, Joe Harris Jr., that is, being certified as mayor, to possibly it going to a runoff. So that's the hope of this litigation, I'm thinking, is to have the 370 mail-in ballots counted to where possibly they can push it to a runoff. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. All right. Now, I see the comments there. I will be coming to you in a little bit. And so that is that. So now the question becomes, how does that impact the uh, Blavos mayoral race? Because we had somewhat of a similar situation here as it relates to provisional ballots, mail-in ballots, or what have you, to where the two votes in question in the Blavo mayoral race, they were told to put those votes back in. So I'm not understanding, first of all, why was the two votes removed? If they were illegal votes and they were removed, why did they put two illegal votes back in? And so that is the question as it relates to the mayor's race. And I'm thinking that uh, the point that the Osceola complaint is making is that if they put two votes back into the tabulation of all the votes, and how do you justify removing 370 votes, mail-in ballots, but it's okay to put two provisional ballots of Blava back into the total count, or factor it into the total count, but you won't factor 370 mail-in ballots for Osceola into the total count. And so I'm thinking that is the point that is being made in the Osceola uh, uh, legal filing of this injunction, is that they should be given the same opportunity to allow the 370 votes, mail-in ballots that is, to be put in the total overall count of all votes. And if they do that, the petitioner is hoping that it will lead to a runoff. So that is my understanding of it. But again, what he's claiming is, how can you deny or disenfranchise, that's the word that we use, when for some particular reason or another, you're not allowing a particular person vote to even be counted. When you don't allow a particular person vote to be counted, you have then what is called disenfranchise that particular voter. And that's what we're talking about here. 370 people possibly being disenfranchised according to the petitioner, Mr. James Crabb Watson. And so I just wanted to lay that foundation as to why this lawsuit was brought. And so I'm going to go to my board, and let me get this off first. I'm going to go to my board and to see if we have any comments. And if we do have comments, I will show those comments, and then we'll get out of here, okay? We're probably going to stay for 30 minutes. We're into 25 minutes now. All right? So let's go to the board, okay? And like I said to you all, I was supposed to be on my break, but of course, when we get breaking news, every now and then you'll see me pop in and pop out, okay? Other than that, I won't be on, okay? But this is Miss Priscilla Williams. Hello, my strong brother. How you doing, Mrs. Williams? My sister Jackson, how you doing? Prophetess Jackson, how you doing? My sister, Miss Janice Cole, Osceola. Hello, my brother. How are you? I'm fine. How about yourself, my sister? Miss Karen Lomack. Hello, Mr. Tony. How you doing, Mrs. Karen Lomack? But it still won't be close to 500 votes. But okay. But it still won't be close to 500 votes. But okay. I think what Ms. Max is saying is that based on the number of votes, let's go back up here. I think based on the amount of votes that they're claiming that Mr. Harris won by, which was, you get Mr. Harris received a total of 1,082. So even if you factor in those 300 votes, let's just say you factor in those 300 votes and you give them to all 300 go to Mr. Considering everybody stay with their preferred candidate. Considering everybody stay, Joe keep his 1,000, Mr. Harris keep his 1,082, Mr. Baker, he keep his 255. So the only votes out there is 370 votes. So if you just do the math roughly, you're talking about probably, I'm just going to give it a high number, 600 votes. Let's just say all 370 go to Crabb. Let's just say it's 600. We know it's not quite there, but let's just say it's 600. Clearly, you can see that Joe Harris will still be leading. Or if you give those 300 votes to the second place finisher, Mr. Baker, Mr. Harris don't lose any votes, he still will win. The only way that this runoff will benefit Mr. Baker, since he was a second place finisher. If you do the 165 and the 370, let's just say it's 200 and 400. Let's just say that's 600 votes. 600 votes added to Mr. Baker, 255, you don't even break 1,000 votes. Okay? You don't even break 1,000 votes. You're probably right at what? 855, between 855 and 900 votes. Clearly, you can still see that Mr. Harris still will win, considering he don't lose any votes. The only way that there could be a change is that if you could pull 300 votes from that 1,082 votes that Mr. Harris did get, maybe the second place finisher, considering that he pick up Mr. Percentage of Mr. Watson votes as well as the some of the mail-in ballots or what have you, it will take a great number of votes to overcome that 1,082. Okay, so that's just my common sense perspective, that is, of just playing around with the numbers. All right. But that's basically all I have, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to bring this breaking news to you all just real quickly. And as you all notice, by rule of thumb, you must have 50.1% majority uh, to win outright, or then you revert to the 20% rule to force what is called a runoff if the candidate didn't maintain 20% better than his second place finisher. So I don't see any other comments over here. And if we don't have anyone ready to come on and ask any questions or what have you, uh, then there's no reason for me to continue to stay around. Okay. Again, I don't know why they named Miss Melissa Logan. Oh, yes. Another thing that I wanted to say. There's some Blavo uh, residents had put the information out that an injunction was filed on behalf of Mr. John Mayberry. That is incorrect. No injunction has been filed on behalf of Mr. John Mayberry. Mr. John Mayberry has made it perfectly clear that he's ready to move on and he's done. I understand that there are some people that supported Mr. Mayberry are not ready to move on. I am one of those candidates that supported Mr. Mayberry. And as I have stated in past times, when Mr. Mayberry say he's done, I'm done. Okay? So by this filing in Osceola by Mr. James Crabb Watson, as it relates to the County Board of Election Commissioners, whatever happened in that case, to whether it go well for Mr. Watson or whether it don't go well for Mr. Watson, it have no impact on a runoff occurring in Blythe, Arkansas. Mr. Mayberry have not filed any type of litigation. The only thing that Mr. Mayberry was asked to sign was what is called, I think I have it here, what is called an affidavit. Here it go right here. I meant to put this on the board, on my screen, excuse me, to read it to you all. But Mr. Mayberry, when he signed something, it's just an affidavit statement that was given to him. And this affidavit, I imagine, was already typed out, and all he had to do was sign it. It say, and I'll just read it to you. I, John Mayberry, hereby enjoin the complaint lodged against the operation conduct. Somebody is leaving improper grammar or whatever I should say. Conducted by the Mississippi County Election Commission and the Mississippi County Clerk Janice Carey, and thereto include Melissa Logan, political mayor candidate. Okay, sincerely submitted. Then they asked for his signature, John Mayberry, political candidate, and they got him listed as a co-litigator. I don't know what that means. This is a document. I should have put it on the screen. They calling Mr. Mayberry a co-litigator. I don't know where that's coming from. The only way that Mr. Mayberry could be considered a litigant in this case is that he would have had to file something in his own name, bringing his own petition against Mississippi Blythe candidate Miss Melissa Logan. There is nothing in the court filing that I've seen to where Mr. Mayberry has brought a legal action against anyone. The only thing Mr. Mayberry has done, he was actually to, I guess, in support against the County Board of Election Commissioners. Mr. Mayberry only signed it, what I'm holding in my hand right now, which is an affidavit. An affidavit simply saying how he is agreeing that the Mississippi County Election Commissioners, and then he named the county clerk, Miss Janice Carey, uh, named them as somewhat uh, conducting the election unfairly. Okay, and that's the only thing Mr. Mayberry has signed. This little piece of paper is just only an affidavit. It's like a sworn statement, as if you was in a court of law. You stand up and you be sworn in, raise your hand, hope to tell the whole. I mean, you give your hope to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It's late in the day, y'all. Excuse me, but this is what this is: an affidavit. It's just a sworn statement. Okay, it's a legal document that they use. This would be considered what is called an exhibit that they will present. It's already in the court filing to where they do have one of the candidates from Blyville, Mr. Mayberry, John Mayberry, who is in agreement that the Mississippi County Board of Election Commissioners, as well as the clerk, that there has been some unfairness, even with the way the election was called in his regard. First, you had uh, uh, a runoff being announced, and it went to the news media, and then a few days later, it went from a runoff to a recount, and so that's the very reason that I'm thinking that Mr. Mayberry signed. I don't. He like I say, he got no dog in this fight. He have not filed not one legal document pro se on his own with the circuit court. So I wanted to clear that up. So again, what happened? Mosquito. What happened in this Osceola case by Mr. James Crab Watson? It have no bearing on Blytheville, Arkansas. We had our opportunity. When I say we, I mean the candidate, Mr. Mayberry. He had an opportunity to file an injunction. He chose not to do so because he claimed he couldn't file an attorney that would take the case. And so without an attorney, he did not want to go down that road filing pro se like Mr. James Crab Watson. That's what he's doing now. He has filed his case pro se. In other words, he's bringing this legal action in his own name, representing himself. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out to you all. Blytheville, regardless of what happened in Osceola, it have no bearing on any runoff occurring in Blytheville, Arkansas. No one has filed any actions, legal actions, with the Mississippi County uh, Circuit Court here in Blytheville. Okay, so if that's what you hope that will happen, I'm sorry to tell you that will not happen. Okay, so that's all I have. I got one other comment on tuned in. Uh, just want to read it. It's just people that's speaking. This is Miss Luster. Hello, how you doing, Miss Luster? Miss Tina Easley, how you doing, Tina? Over in Jonesboro, I think she says she lives now. And so that is my show, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to come in and give you that information. Okay. In terms of Blytheville, Arkansas, to my understanding, is settled, according to Mr. Mayberry. Now, if there is someone that hopes to bring a petition in their own name, petition in the court, by all means, they can do that. But as far as Mr. Mayberry, again, he has moved on. Okay. So that's my show, ladies and gentlemen. And then may you all have a blessed remainder night. I wasn't planning on keeping you, but 30 minutes. Look like I'm 1 minute over already, soon to be 2 minutes over. And so I want to say, I hope everyone had a blessed Thanksgiving. I know I did. And let's continue to be safe, all right, as we go through the remainder of what holidays are left. And let's be safe, okay? Because there still remains some folks out there that mean you no good. In other words, when you're shopping, be very vigilant to your surroundings. When you go into your vehicle, do not go to your vehicle alone. Do not put any packages in your vehicle and walk back inside the store and do some more shopping. Because when you return to your vehicle, you could find your windows busted out and whatever items that you had placed it inside your vehicle, they will be gone. So please don't spoil your Christmas by making careless mistakes. Okay? So that's my show, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see any more comments. And so please, for those of you who are to vote in this runoff uh, elections that we're having down on the south end of the county and here on the north end as well, please get out and support and vote for your preferred candidate. So that's my show. Hope you all have a blessed remaining night. So I'll leave you with good night, peace and love, and may God bless you all.